Carson, you've written a book on the Constitution recently. What does the Constitution say about whose duty it is here to act in this kind of a situation?
We need to start thinking about the divisiveness that is going on in our country. I looked at some of the remarks that people made after finding out that Justice Scalia had died, and they were truly nasty remarks. We should be thinking about how can we create some healing in this land. But right now, we're not going to get healing with President Obama.
All right, Republican presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson joining us live this morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
So how would you summarize your debate performance last night?
Well, I was pleased to actually be included in the debate without having to jump up and down and scream and say, hey, me too, although there was some of that, but not to the extent that it has been before. And it was possible to direct people really toward more substantive things rather than the food fight, which really is rather irritating.
It seemed like you were driving people to your website a lot, to your point about trying to drive people to see some of your substantive responses to some of these questions. Do you think, though, your performance...
Well, not only that. No, I was going to say not only that, but this past week I spent 1 hour in front of a national security forum just being asked questions about national security. And that will be up soon. People will be able to see that this is not a deficit area for me.
Well, and of course, it was the focus of a lot of the debate last night about the Iraq War, and the lines were really clear. Should the Republican Party, should rank-and-file Republicans embrace the Iraq War, or should they disavow it? Which side are you on?
Well, I don't think that it was the right thing to do in the beginning, but I do think it was a good idea to get rid of Saddam Hussein. And my reasons are a little different than everybody else's. You know, they were thinking about weapons of mass destruction. I'm thinking about the fact that he killed hundreds of thousands of his own people and was a real monster. But there are other ways to get rid of people without, you know, invading the country and creating instability.
And destabilizing the region, which was one of the main arguments from Donald Trump last night on the stage. Do you think your debate performance last night was sufficient to help you move the needle in South Carolina?
Well, it really kind of depends on whether people are really listening or if they're looking for entertainment. If they're looking for entertainment, probably not. If they're looking for someone who really gives them an alternative from the status quo, which is just going to lead us to the same places, and if they're looking for somebody who has a history of solving problems, and if they go and actually look at my policies and see that they make tremendous sense, then I think it will move the needle. And the people in South Carolina are a little smarter than some other people, so we'll see.
Well, so we know, as we're running on the bottom of the screen right now, that foreign affairs, the economy, these are still the biggest topics for the American people. What's your strategy? What are you going to do going forward? I mean, things got fierce last night, Dr. Carson. The battle is heating up. What are you going to do to stay in it?
Well, I will continue to make appearances. I'll be here until the actual voting takes place. I'm going to be doing a lot of media, particularly local media, television and radio, getting to the people. And that's going to be the key.
So what was it? I mean, you were on the stage last night. People are screaming at each other, calling one another liars. It really got bitter and personal. What was it like when the cameras were off? Did people talk? Did they shake hands? Did the hostility linger on stage?
No. When the camera's not looking at them, they engage in cordial conversation. You know, it's largely a show. They know it. And I say it's like ancient Rome. Everybody wanted to go to the Colosseum and watch the lions tearing everybody apart while their society was crumbling around them.
Wow.
We're having exactly the same phenomenon right now. And hopefully we will wake up in time.
Well,
boy, I hope before the vandals show up. That would be bad. Dr. Carson, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks a lot for doing this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.